But when you having an and Mother Day, it's like, come eat this cereal, come eat this sandwich, come eat this hot dog. You feel me what I'm saying? Hey mommies, and welcome back to my channel. And if you are new here, welcome, welcome, welcome. This is the Mommy Chats Unfiltered podcast, and I am Shama of Mommies with Purpose. You already know, bridging the gap between mommies and their purpose all day, every day. And on today's episode, mommies, we gonna share in frustration today. Can we do that today? Can we share in our frustration? I mean, like, this is called the Mommy Chats Unfiltered podcast, so we gonna talk about some stuff. And as you can check out the title, it's called And Mother. Like, really, sometimes, I know sometimes we go through some stuff in the days where we have to ask ourselves, and mother? Like, you know what those days look like. You had a bad day at work. Maybe you went out to run some errands. It didn't come out to play as par. Or maybe you had an interaction with somebody that day that truly like just changed the trajectory of your day. Or maybe you just had a really funky day, like just being stuck in mom funk, dealing with so much emotionally, and then you have to come back home and mother. Like, can we share that frustration today? It's a lot. It's a lot to ask for sometimes, you know? Like, I know I'm having that day myself. I had to stop this podcast like 45 million times because the kids acted crazy. I really had to. You know, some days aren't gonna be as easy as others. Some days can be frustrating. Some days it can be like, and mother, are you serious right now? I don't have the courage to do this right now. Like, where do I start? Like, I don't got the time, I don't got the energy. I think I've had enough for today. Can we agree with that, mommy? If you're in the car, honk your car horn just right now for one time. If you're at work, just, you know, wave your hands in the air, wave it like you just don't care. If you're watching me, smash the like button if you understand what I'm talking about right now. You know, but even in our frustration, and we still have to mother, I still feel like there's some ways we can be productive. I figured 3 ways that I really negotiate and try to like figure out how to create some type of balance on my and mother days. Like, cause we're gonna have them. We're gonna constantly have them. Just because, you know, we had a great week doesn't mean the next week ain't gonna be looking crazy. And when I really sat down and reflect, what could I tell you? What could I give you today that will be able to help you out on your and mother days? And I came up with 3 tips that I want to give you today to be able to utilize towards your days, to, even though you're having an and mother day, it can still be a lot more productive than it would be if you just let the day roll over you, you know, because we can do that. But yes, key tip number 1, when you're having an and mother day, I highly recommend that you reward yourself. Reward yourself in some kind of way. I know for me, sometimes when I'm coming home from work and it's like, and mother, I'm like, I gotta come home to cleaning up all over the place. Or maybe I'm home that day and it's like the kids just been dirtying up the place all over the dang on place. Like, I just find myself being like, you know what? I'm gonna reward myself with not cleaning up after everything they drop. Sometimes that looks like cleaning up at the very end of the day. So go ahead, let them run the house over like it's Hurricane Katrina. Do what you got to do, but give yourself and reward yourself that time of not having to pick up every 5 seconds, building up agitation and building up anxiety because of what your responsibilities carry. Or maybe that means cleaning less or stop cleaning period for that day. That is okay to reward yourself with that. Maybe it's giving the kids, if your kid's not used to taking naps, maybe give them some quiet time. Sitting them in the corner and saying, you're going to be quiet for the next 30 minutes and I'm just going to sit in the basket in the ambiance. Like, you know, something like it. And, you know, it's harder the younger your children are, but reward yourself with some time. I spoke to the amazing Stacey Crawley. She is a professional mom life coach, a mom empowerment coach. And I used to say stuff like stealing some time for yourself. And Stacey stopped me like, why we gotta be stealing time as moms? We should be rewarding ourselves with time. Do y'all agree with me with that? We should be rewarding ourselves time, not stealing time. We're still the people that have dominion over our time. So we're not really stealing. We should be rewarding ourselves with our time. And the second tip that I would give you is to ask for help. Mommies, we have this horrible thing where we hate to ask for help, especially when you have an and mother day. You have to learn to ask for help in any way, shape, or form. I believe one of the things that we struggle with in our motherhood is communication. Being able to let down our guard a little bit and being able to say, sis, can you come help me with these kids for at least 30 minutes so I could catch a break? Being able to communicate to your spouse, your sister, your friend, your mother, whoever is in the same vicinity as you or as close in proximity to you as possible so that they can give you out the helping hand that you need, the breather that you may need, that can make a complete difference of a day. I have a great friend that is so selfless in any and everything that she does. And I remember when I was pregnant with my last baby, I was really struggling as I was preparing for birth and I was already dealing with some pregnancy complications. I was expressing to her how overwhelmed I was. Her and her amazing husband, who really wanted children at the time, now God has blessed them with 2 beautiful babies. And she was just like, you know what, Shama, let me take the kids away from you for the 4 hours on this particular day. And I was like, that is too much to ask. Like, I have 2 kids, one with a blast of energy and the other one that's just in her own place, in her own land. Like, that is just so much to ask, to clothe them, to feed them, to do all these kind of things. But she was like, no, it would actually be a blessing because I want children. I want to be able to service you in that and help you out in any way possible that I can. And after I let my guard down, understanding that I needed that help, when I tell you that was all I needed to recharge and to resurface and to get myself back together as a mommy, all I needed was those 4 hours. I spent those 4 hours sleeping, some giving myself a good meal, because you know when you got kids, you can't eat by yourself. Y'all know the struggle what I'm talking about. But yes, I took that time to do those things and just enjoy myself, and it ended up prolonging longer than we anticipated. But by the time she brought those kids back, I was ready to receive them in a new way. I was ready to receive them and go on about my motherhood. So get used to asking for help, even when you don't feel like it. Even when you don't seem like, oh, maybe it's the right thing to do. If somebody is willing to help you, take the help, because you know, mommies, we do not get it often. So when you get it, consider yourself blessed and stop blocking your blessings, okay? But yes, and the final and last thing that I would tell you is to pre-plan or prepare for an Mother Day. We don't know when we're going to have an Mother Day, but we do know that it is going to happen because it happens very often. So why not prepare for that before it comes, so that we're not running around with our head cut off like some chickens out here, you know, in these streets. But rather, when that day comes, we could take a step back and be like, okay, here's my Mother Day. I'm gonna give y'all some tips. I got a Pinterest where I have quick dinners, quick lunches, quick breakfast, and also like things that I can do to try to move some responsibilities over for the very next day. Maybe that looks like I need to do some laundry, but I'm not able to do the whole load. Maybe I can take the things that I know that are important so I can set them to the side to wash them, or whatever the case may be. Pre-plan. One of the things that I struggle with is like meals. Meals throughout the day is like one of the hardest things to do. When you have an Mother Day, you don't feel like cooking, because you know you want to cook with your heart, you want to cook with your love, you want to cook with, you know, what the Lord has given you on the inside. But when you having an Mother Day, it's like, come eat this cereal, come eat this sandwich, come eat this hot dog. You feel me what I'm saying? Quick meals all day. They still getting fed. Y'all ain't starving like Marvin. Y'all good, you know? So what does that look like for me? Pre-planning meals, or even having a set, like a budget on the side for like when I don't want to cook that day, I can go to a restaurant that I know me, my children, and my husband love to eat at. Things like that. Like, you have to prepare yourself for those kind of moments, because when they hit you by surprise, even though they are not really surprise, especially to us mothers, because we know we have them very often, but for some reason when it comes up, you know, we swear we're not prepared for it. Like, Lord, I did need some help. We act like that, but we know these days can happen. So prepare for it in the best way that you possibly can. Figure out your top 3 or top 5 things on an Mother Day that you just cannot deal with, and find out the best solution to replace that issue at hand. So when it comes up, you like, you know what, let me go to my Pinterest board to see what food I'm gonna cook for y'all today. A quick meal, because that's what y'all gonna get for today. But yes, moms, all in all, at the end of the day, being a mom is a privilege. It is an honor. It is a gift to us given by God. And although we do have those and mother days, I truly believe that we can still find some silver lining. These silver linings could be these 3 key tips, or maybe you have your own. Maybe put them in the comments for me if you're watching on my YouTube channel, or share on, if you on the podcast, go ahead and share this episode, screenshot it to your Instagram stories, Facebook, whatever social media platform, and tag me and tell me the way that you can pre-plan for that day. Whenever there's a problem, there is always a solution on the other side of it. Don't feel like you need to be stuck, and don't get stuck in that and mother phase, although we can get in there. Once you simmer down and figure out, okay, I'm having an and mother day, figure out some ways that you can make it a lot better on yourself and a lot better on your family, because they are also affected when you have those days as well. But check me out next week when we go ahead and have another mommy chat. Stay tuned.